Gather round, ye, and bear witness to the real Florida. This isn't your hoity-toity New Age plastic Mickey Mouse Florida. This is Jimmy Buffett ripping lines off of Manatee, Florida. The real thing. The walls are cinder block. The sheets are woven from palmetto fronds. There's a sign telling you to flip a breaker switch if you want to use the fridge. There's a Bible in the drawer, but it's been hollowed out, and it's holding an old recording device from a low-level drug bust in the 70s. Stay here. You can't beat it.
After reading some of the reviews about the Buccaneer Inn, the motel that we would be staying at on St. George Island, we weren't sure what to expect. Some reviews were good, some were really bad, and others were hilarious. You might also be wondering about what to expect if you're planning to visit St. George Island, or you could just be curious. Either way, we invite you to join us as we escape to Florida's forgotten coast.
St. George Island is located off the Florida Panhandle in the northern part of the Gulf of Mexico. It's a 5,000-year-old barrier island, 28 miles long and 1 mile wide at its widest point. It's connected to the mainland by a 4-mile-long bridge that goes over Apalachicola Bay. The island is informally divided into 3 sections. The first section is Dr. Julian G. Bruce St. George Island State Park. The second section is the public strip, where all the motels, condos, vacation rentals, and restaurants are. And the third section is a private gated housing community with its own airstrip, and includes some of the most expensive homes on the Gulf of Mexico. The state park on St. George occupies the eastern 9 miles of the island and is completely undeveloped. It's a beautiful preserve that provides important habitat for wildlife. It's a popular birdwatching spot, and the area is well known for its excellent variety of fish and seafood, such as oysters, scallops, grouper, flounder, redfish, snapper, trout, mullet, and more. This is also a great place for recreational activities like kayaking, biking, swimming, hiking, and fishing. It also includes a campground and an RV park open to the public.
When we visited the state park, the beaches were almost empty. It was so pristine, it seemed almost untouched, more like what it must have been like when the Muskogee people lived here. The Muskogee were the natives who inhabited the island for centuries until they were killed off by diseases brought with the arrival of European colonists in the late 18th century. It's rare to find beaches in Florida so undeveloped and preserved. We felt like this place was really special. St. George Island is well known for its beautiful soft white sand beaches. It's regularly ranked in the top 10 best beaches in North America. As it turns out, humans are not the only creatures who enjoy the all-natural, super soft white sand. Sea turtles also love it. It provides the most ideal environment for them to nest and lay their eggs. We were lucky enough to be there right at the tail end of the sea turtle nesting season that runs from March through October. Light pollution has a major impact on the survival of baby sea turtles. So, St. George Island observes this time with dark skies at night. All the homes and businesses leave their lights off at night to help with the success of the survival of baby sea turtles. We enjoyed the dark skies, especially when we walked out onto the beach after dark and were stunned to see the Milky Way clearly above us. Walking on the beach was our favorite pastime on St. George Island. On our first day, we arrived in time to catch the sunset, and it was spectacular. We especially enjoyed the views of the moon and Venus at dusk. Sunrise the next day was worth getting up for. The Buccaneer Inn is located right on the beach, and that made it very easy for us to get out in time to see the sun come up over the Gulf. Once the sun was up, it was so warm that we decided to jump in for a morning swim. We found sunsets and sunrises were some of the best times to enjoy St. George's gorgeous beaches. In the middle of the day, the direct sun was so intense that it was difficult to enjoy without any shade. So we purchased a shade structure called a Nesso tent from a local surf shop. The Nesso worked really well, and we knew we would have lots of opportunities to put it to good use while we were in Florida. Nesso tents are specifically designed for use on the beach and are super convenient for creating shade when you need it. The Nesso made it possible for us to fully optimize our time on the beach with our folks as well. This helped us to prepare to stay out on the beach for as long as possible.
Overall, we really liked the Buccaneer Inn. The room was clean and the bed was comfortable, which is the most important thing to us. It is an old motel from the 50s, and it is being renovated, so there was some construction happening while we were there. However, the price was great, especially for being right on the beach. If we did go back to St. George Island, I think we would try to find something with a kitchenette so that we could cook some of our own meals. Other than that, it was great.
Our number one tip for visiting St. George Island is to come prepared to provide for as many of your own needs as possible. We had a very difficult time finding good coffee. If you care about quality morning brews, bring what you need to make your own, or you may just have to drive the 15 minutes to Apalachicola, where we found good cafes.
The food on St. George Island is standard American fare and mediocre at best. If you're like us and value high quality, locally sourced, farm fresh food, and most importantly, well prepared, then we recommend driving across the bay to Apalachicola. Tune in for our next episode where we explore Apalachicola, find some great restaurants, eat some delicious food, and visit some really fascinating historical sites.